Yo, peace, peace, Abargani, Islam, Salam, Hetepu, Rahubat, Assalamu alaikum, Gino Lako Ninani, Chief Noble, Bandele Elamin, back again for another video. Today's video is for all the back to school or for everybody who's going to school. We're going to look at the facts that you do not need a social security number or a birth certificate to enroll your children in school. And we're going to look at that, okay? So before we get into any of that, please check out all my books on Amazon.com dealing with the Moorish treaties, dealing with the birth certificate explained, and also dealing with history on the Moors and nationality and birth rights and Moorish Treaty 2, the Moorish Treaty 2, and the manual for life, all the way to the religious marriage book. That's a new book. It shows you how to get married on a religious side and not the civic side. And also we got, for anybody who likes to write down stuff, I have the blank journal that has 200 plus pages of blank college rule pages, all right? So check out all my books on Amazon. Just check me out, all right? So with all that being said, let's get into the subject matter, okay? Today, we're going to talk about the back to school and how we really have been played on what we need to get our children to school. We're often told that we need to give a social security number, and we're often told that we need to give a birth certificate. So we're going to look into that, and we're going to show you how you don't need any of these things, okay? So this is going to be a quick video, but it's going to be quick and to the point. Now, what am I using as my proof or whatever? What I'm using is from the U.S. Department of Justice and the U.S. Department of Education, okay? So as you can tell, this is from those departments, okay? And it's called a fact sheet. So this fact sheet really breaks it down, okay? So I'm just telling y'all, for all of us who out there who are, Moors and do not have these things, and we have religious documents only, and we do not have birth certificates and whatnot, for those people who are looking to understand that, okay? We're going to get into that, okay? All right, so let's get into it. So this is a fact sheet, information on rights of all children to enroll in school. Now, it says here, all children in the United States are entitled to equal access to basic public elementary and secondary education, regardless of their actual perceived race, okay, color, national origin, citizenship. So it doesn't matter what their citizenship is. It doesn't matter their immigration status or the status of their parents. School districts that either prohibit, y'all have to listen to this. School districts that either prohibit or discourage or maintain policies that have the effect of prohibiting or discouraging children from enrolling in schools because they or their parents, guardian, are not U.S. citizens or they are undocumented may be in violation of federal law. Do you understand me? Okay, so this is for even all the immigrants out here who may not be here, what they call legally. Your child cannot be discriminated against. Okay, so it says here below are acceptable enrollment policies, such as requesting proof of residency in the school district, as well as policies that may not be used by schools to deny enrollment. Okay, so let's look at this. Now, It says here, proof of residency in the school district. School officials may request proof that you live within the boundaries of the school district. School districts typically accept a variety of documents for this purpose, such as phone, water bills, lease agreements, affidavits, or other documents. A school district's requirements to establish residency must be applied in the same way for all children. Okay, pretty simple. So, just to understand, when they talk about residency, like they say, a water bill, phone bill, those are forms of identification as well. They give your name, they give a name, and they give an address. So a lot of times these are even valid forms to validate your not just residence, but you as a person. Okay, so bills have a lot of power in form of identification purposes or to be verified for certain things. Okay, so now let's look at this. Now this is the ones. So we're gonna get into these. A school district may not ask about your or your child's citizenship or immigration status to establish residency within the district, nor may the school district deny a homeless child, okay, including a homeless child who is undocumented, enrollment because he or she cannot provide the required documents to establish residency. So even though they may request proof of residency, and if you have a phone bill, water bill, or some type of lease agreements, affidavits, or other documents, the school district requirement to establish residency must be applied the same way. So it goes back, like we just read, and it says even, look, the child might be homeless. So residency at the end of the day does not stop a child from attending because you can't deny a homeless child enrollment because she can't provide the documents to establish residency. So how many times have we had children kicked out of school because they couldn't prove they reside in a certain area? Okay. That is not right. That is not true. Okay. So understand that. Now it says, while a school district may choose to include a parent's state issue identification or driver's license among the documents that can be used to establish residency, listen, a school district may not require such documentation to establish residency or for other purposes, whereas such a requirement would unlawfully bar a student whose parents are undocumented from enrolling in school. So you cannot use residency or the lack of proof of residency cannot prohibit you from going to school. All right. Matter of fact, I think I'm gonna try to have this link. I'm gonna try to have this link in the description in the video so that you guys can get it for yourself and then be able to use it because truthfully, I've had to use this. I was just talking about this for school, and they tried to tell me that the documents was not efficient enough for them, and I had to remind them of this. Okay, and they changed their mind. Okay, so now look, proof of age. Proof of age. School officials may request documentation to show that a student falls within the school district's minimum or maximum age requirements. So they need to know how old you are. They need to see documentation they're saying of how old you are. It says school districts typically accept a variety of documents for this purpose. Okay, listen. Such as, religious, hospital or physician's certificate showing date of birth, an entry. Listen, this is the one. An entry in the family Bible. Now, I say family Bible, but I would say family Bible or Quran or anything like that. Or like we have a book, the Ancestral Covenant, that you can write your stuff down in that book as well. And that's a religious book. So anything like that. And it says, or an adoption record, or listen, an affidavit from a parent. An affidavit from a parent. Okay, so in our case, we're using the religious and the affidavit form because you have a religious affidavit that would show the child's birth and their parents. Now it says also a birth certificate or previously verified school records. So if you have a number of things, meaning you do not need a birth certificate. There are alternatives that the school is required to take. So let's go further. Although a school district might request documents such as those listed above to verify your child's age, listen, a school district may not prevent or discourage your child from enrolling in or attending school because he or she lacks a birth certificate or has records that indicate a foreign place of birth, such as a foreign birth certificate. So, you heard it from there. It says that you cannot be denied enrollment if you do not have a birth certificate. So, a birth certificate is definitely not required in order for your child to be in school. So don't let them listen. If you guys, even if you got a birth certificate for your children or whatnot, you're not required to give them a birth certificate. That's all I'm saying. Even if you do have a birth certificate, you're not required to give the school a birth certificate for proof. If you've got other form of proof, they can take that. So, if you're transferring your child from another school, they don't need a birth certificate. What if they're the first time going to school? Well, that's why you got a religious or hospital or physician certificates or family Bible. Come on. It's not that hard. So let's move into the next big hurdle people have. Social Security. Okay? That seems to be a problem, an issue. Social Security numbers. It says that some school districts request a student's Social Security number. Notice that it says some, not all, or not school districts, but some. It says they do request a Social Security number during enrollment to use as a student ID number. So they use a Social Security number as an ID number. It says if a school district requests a student's Social Security number, though. So check this out. If they're asking you for a Social Security number, and if they don't do this, if they don't inform you and your child that providing it is voluntary, okay, and that refusing to provide it will not bar your child from enrolling in or attending school. You hear me? If they do that, they're in violation. If they tell you, well, ma'am, our children have to have a Social Security number, then you tell them that's a lie. You tell them Maury said that's a lie, okay? Because you do not. Okay, and then it says in number 2, they have to if they're gonna have you use a Social Security number, they have to explain for what purpose the number is used. So if they're telling you that you have to have a Social Security number, they better inform you that, well, you don't have to give it to us. It's only voluntary. This is not necessarily, you don't have to give us this. But, they can say, but it helps us to give him an ID number. They can say whatever, but they have to tell you that it is voluntary and then when they use that number, they got to tell you what the number is for. So you tell me, y'all, how many times did y'all put people in school and they ain't said none of this? None of this. That's because we do everything voluntarily. And we did a video on this. Y'all got to check that video out. But it's starting to click and make sense. All right. So look, a school district may not require you to provide your own social security number in order for your child to enroll or attend school. Look, a school district may not require you to provide your own social security number in order for your child to enroll in or attend school. So you don't have to give your social security number, and they don't have to give their social security number. Let me hold up. It says a school district may not prevent your child from enrolling in or attending school if you choose not to provide your child's social security number. Okay, so I skipped that, my fault. But they're saying that your child does not have to give a social security number if they choose not to. Okay, so you do not have to provide a social security number for your child. So anytime you say it may not, a school district may not. So they're saying that they cannot, they should not, it should not prevent you, okay? It should not prevent you from doing that. And they're saying that that they may not prevent you from enrolling your child, regardless of social. And it's saying that the school district may not require you to give your social. So you don't have to go, as a parent, you don't have to give them your social security number and the child's social security number. Okay? Very important. So you do not need a social security number to enroll a child in school. Now, the next one is race or ethnicity data. So a school district may have some federal or state obligations to report race or ethnicity data about their students in their school. But a school district may request that you provide your child's race or ethnicity for this purpose. However, it says a school district may not bar your child from enrolling if you choose not to provide your children's race or ethnicity. So, I mean, you guys see the pattern, right? They're saying, oh, we will ask for it, but you don't have to give it to us. So it's letting you know that when we do these things, we think that we're supposed to, or we're required to, or we're going to get in trouble, or we're not going to be able to enroll your child in a state-funded school. But everything that we do is voluntary. We voluntarily give them these things that they're asking for, okay, when we do not have to. Okay, so if you understand that you guys are going back to school, if you guys have any problems trying to get your children to school, that you need this document, okay? So, like I said, I'm going to put this document in the description box so you guys can check it out for yourself and you can read it. And it, like I said, it does work. You want to stand on your First Amendment rights with a lot of this. So when you tell them that under the First Amendment, you tell them that they're violating. If they're telling you that they can't help you, that, oh, I'm sorry, you're going to have to use you don't have the required documents that we asked for. You tell them, especially if you got religious documents, y'all. Like if you're using the Bible or if you're using a religious document, you let them know that they're violating your religious rights. And we do have other videos dealing with religious rights, but you let them know that they're violating your religious rights before anything else. And then you let them know what the Department of Education and the Department of Justice tells them about what they're saying. Okay. So I hope this was informative and help you guys out for the new school year. And this is Bandele Alamin signing out. Till next time, Tuta Nana. Peace.